Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. I have a question. If you could describe leadership in one word only, what would that one word be? You know, last week we discussed how to have your most meaningful year. We talked about beginning and finishing each day in gratitude, just taking the time to ask it. And then if something comes up, write it down. But just taking the time to ask it releases dopamine and serotonin in our system, and you will have a better, more abundant day. So just do those two things alone. Gives you a head start. We then talked about our past, the learning from our past, and how to always make our learning greater than the experience. And the future and the inspiration that's supplied by our vision of the future that gives us our why and our purpose. First of all, about our past. If an experience from the past doesn't add to your future, doesn't serve your future, then let it go. Someday it might, but right now, if it doesn't serve your future, let it go. And then as you look out into your future, let that inspire you. Ask yourself, if I'm sitting here 1 year from today, what has to have happened for me to feel like I've made meaningful progress in those areas of my life I treasure most? And write them down. And then critical. Don't get caught up in setting goals. Get caught up in motion. Visualize that vision. Use the teaching from your past. And then ask yourself, what small step can I take today that will move me closer to that? Now, that's a pretty powerful formula, but what we didn't talk about was what could sabotage us, what could slow us down, what could divert us from reaching that by 2018. It's the same word that we're going to talk about that can be used to define leadership, because that same word, properly applied, properly used, properly embraced, will actually help us achieve in 2018 all of our expectations. All right, you ready for the one word? Influence. Influence is very interesting. Influence is like the air. It's everywhere. It's something that each one of us possess. Every human being on this planet possesses influence. Yet, you can never give it away. You can't delegate it. You can't give it to someone else. It's yours. It's yours and yours alone. However, how you influence others is greatly determined by those individuals, things that influence you. So not only who influences you, but what influences you. So what are you reading? How are you spending your time? What movies do you go to? You know, what are you doing that's influencing you? Because everything that you do influences others. And that makes you then a leader. That makes every human being a leader. Now, you're either a great leader, a good leader, you know, a not so good leader, okay leader, or you're a lousy leader. What are you? And as you continue to lead and be influenced by those around you, will determine how great of an influencer you are. You can't tell where influence starts. You can never tell where influence ends. When you drop your stone into the pond of life, when I drop this stone at my stone, when I've dropped plenty of stones into the pond of life that have sent ripples out, I don't know where most of those have gone. I'm probably grateful not to know where a lot of those have gone. But occasionally we get the feedback and we get to see where our influence really goes. You know, there's a lot of talk today about becoming a game changer. I'm going to change the world, and I can go out and change the world. You can be a game changer. Socrates said, "Let him that would move the world first move himself." Interesting. You know, ships don't sink because of the water around them. We can't change the influencers, but we can change what we do to protect ourselves. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. They sink because of the water that gets in them. So where you are spending your time and how your tears, your time, energy, attention, and resources is to determine the water that you're allowing in, which then influences others. Elbert Hubbard said, "He who influences the thought of his times influences the times that follow." Ask yourself each day, Who did I influence today? Did I influence them for good? Did I influence them for greatness? Who can I influence tomorrow? Who influenced me today? Have a meaningful week. I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.